What do you call a fan of Elon Musk?
An elonginist.
No, an asshole.
Hello and welcome to This Is. Listen up, muskrats.
Nope.
Twitter's a sinking ship that we all have to flee.
We're about to give you some of the absolute top tier Twitter replacements to liven up your timelines.
These are the best alternatives to using Twitter because, let's face it, that's a dumpster fire right now. Let's get into the next one.
It's always been a dumpster fire.
Jeremy Renner official. So this was created in 2017. Let's face it, it's Jeremy Renner, my dudes. It's a way for fans all over the world to interact directly with Jeremy Renner. You don't want to be interacting with Elon Musk. You want to be interacting with tag star Jeremy Renner.
That would be like the Matt app, and you download the app, and it just lets you talk to Matt. It's the dumbest thing ever.
What? If you want to have the Matt app, text
No,
422
don't.
#7 to me, and we'll chat. It was unfortunately shut down to a quote from Renner: "Clever individuals that were able to impersonate me and others." Can you believe someone was impersonating the owner of a social media platform?
Can you believe that this is the actual image they used? He's like,
Moving on to the next one.
Friendster was quite possibly the greatest social media platform that was founded in the summer of 2002.
I had a Friendster because for a long time, their slogan was everyone is separated by 6 degrees. And this was a way to prove it. Like, I know this guy who knows this guy who knows this guy who knows this
I actually remember that as a kid, like my parents would talk about that. Like, oh, there's probably only 4 or 5 or 6 people between us and the president if you go from uncle to this person to this. And I always think like,
I have one because I played poker with Bill Clinton and he cheated.
What?
Story time!
Are you trying to tell me that the esteemed former president Bill Clinton was a cheater? I think you should tease this. Subscribe to the channel, ring-a-ling-the-ding-a-ling bell, for this impeccable story, which apparently is true, on why Bill Clinton cheated Matt out of actual money illegally.
Back in like 2007, 2008, Bill Clinton went on this press tour to like raise money for it, and he was like playing concert halls, and I was working at one, and I'm in charge of like getting them whatever they need, blah, blah, blah. So he's got like all his like Secret Service people around him, and they're playing poker. He's like, hey man, why don't you come and sit in? I'm like, all right. I'm like 18 at the time, whatever. We're playing poker. He goes, man, this hand sucks. And he just goes to one of his Secret Service guys and grabs one of his cards. He's like, full house.
You're gonna get abducted to a black site now that you've told that story.
Yeah.
We're moving on to what's even better than Friendster, which is MySpace.
Oh, MySpace, my man. It was inspired by Friendster, launched by the one and only Tom. Who needs to know his last name? No one, because everyone was friends with Tom.
For those of you Zoomers who were not fortunate enough to grow up with things such as Friendster and MySpace, hello, welcome to This Is. We're old, and we're going to tell you about the way it used to be back in the good old days with MySpace.
If you wanted to have the ultimate in friend drama, what you did is you updated your top 8. On there, it would say, here's my top 8. Here's the 8 people I care about most. But then what you do is you'd rank those 8 people. And so your friend Becky, she was being kind of a bitch at the party. Maybe she gets moved down to number 8 that night. Becky's the worst. I don't know what to tell you. And in 2012, Justin Timberlake bought it. As it exists today, it's an entertainment news site with a little bit of social networking.
I mean, basically, whoever owns it, Justin Timberlake or whatever, they're basically just cashing in on the various many people who are still clicking the MySpace button in their Internet Explorer 6 computer tab. Digg!
Why upvote and downvote when you can dig and bury? Digg was the early version of, like, say, Reddit. Basically, instead of upvoting, you digged it, you dug it, but if you want to downvote it, you buried it. In 2012, Digg was sold for a mere $500,000. Next one up is one that I miss dearly. CraigsList misconnections. Hey girl, were you the one who got hit by a car in front of Billy's last night? I was outside smoking and you were crossing the street and you got hit by a car. You bounced off the hood and landed on the street yelling something about being indestructible. Look, I feel like I'm gonna be single forever now that CraigsList misconnections
that was the problem.
Every one of my girlfriends I met through CraigsList misconnections.
Say cap.
Cap.
Okay.
If you ever wanted to feel like you're not an absolute goblin of a person, you would go on Craigslist misconnections and realize that, like, oh wait, I'm living an okay life. The unhingedness of Craigslist misconnections was so rich and delicious. I wanted to drizzle that on pancakes.
You know what's even better than Craigslist misconnections?
What is that? LiveJournal.
Did you ever use LiveJournal?
I didn't.
I used LiveJournal, baby!
What?
I used LiveJournal! Back in the days, the early and mid 2000s, where blogs were all the rage. You wanted to be online all the time? You didn't go post your updates to Facebook or Twitter. Those didn't exist yet. Instead, you had your own personal blog that you ran via LiveJournal. Now, LiveJournal actually still exists, although I know that the last major user of LiveJournal, at least as far as I was aware, was George R.R. Martin. He used that up until literally a year or two ago. And fun fact, he literally just replicated exactly on his website, even down to the little emotion, happy, sad, all that kind of stuff.
Parler. Nope. Moving on.
Moving right on from that one.
StumbleUpon. StumbleUpon, for those of you who don't know, StumbleUpon was basically a roulette wheel for the internet.
I've never heard of something that sounds less appealing in my entire
This
life.
was, I don't know how I finished college. You'd sit there and you just stumble. That's what it was called. It was stumbling. That's how I discovered you.
You stumbled on me, Matt?
I'm not even joking about this.
Okay, I've never heard the story. Okay, go ahead.
No, this is back in the day when tech YouTube wasn't really a thing. You were there with your long spiky hair. It would just bring up different web pages,
right?
And whatever, probably gaming was at the time. It would just bring up your video, and so when you hit stumble, it would just have all these categorized and it would just be random. It's that's how I got so many interests. They got bought out. I forgot who they got bought out by, and it was not really the same. I miss this so much. It was so fun, and it was a really good way to It wasn't so much a social media platform.
Yeah.
The problem I have with something like Pinterest is you tell it your interests, and then it focuses your interests,
right?
Which is you don't expand your horizons as much. But this here would expand your horizon infinitely, and I love this site. I miss it a lot.
Well, that sounds like it's better than Twitter. Sign me up.
Yes.
Can I go create an account on StumbleUpon?
Because they shut down.
YikYak. YikYak, patty whack, give a dog a bone. YikYak had about 15 minutes of fame.
Yep.
This was as if Twitter was anonymous, location-based, and had upvotes and downvotes.
So this got shut down because, well...
Of course it did. We don't need to describe that. Of course this got shut down. This was a stupid idea.
There was plenty of
friend requests.
Yeah.
but
it's back now. You can download it and make even more
friend requests.
Club.
Wait. Hold on a second. Matt, we're not qualified for this. Kenzie, can you please tell us why Club Penguin is better than Twitter?
Because it's the real metaverse.
So here's the thing. Club Penguin seems silly, seems frivolous, but this was wildly popular. And while it did get shut down eventually, it had a 12-year run.
In 2008, this was the 8th tier social networking site.
It was the 8th most popular social networking site was Club Penguin. Did you know, if you look at the analytics of this is, 99.6% of people who watch this is are not subscribed? Yep, that's a real fact. Look it up. You can't because I made that up. But a lot of people aren't subscribed, and you, too, my friend, could be part of the cool Penguin Club and subscribe to This Is.
When we hit 1 million subscribers, I will shave Austin's eyebrows.
Sure.
Google Plus! Look, right now.
S tier.
Yes. I really liked Google Plus. But, most Google products, they're we have this thing, and then we're going to cancel it immediately.
Google Plus actually had a minute there where it became a real network. Now, keep in mind, this is launched in 2011.
Yeah.
Well after Twitter, well after Facebook. The die was already kind of being cast on the big traditional social networking sites. And Google, being Google, was like, hey, we want a slice of that, my dude. So essentially what they did was they created a full social network. One of the things they did a lot was they really tied it in pretty tightly with YouTube, which obviously was very popular. Obviously not really a social network.
Have you ever heard of YouTube?
Yeah, it's YouTube. There's some high quality videos I've heard on some channels like the Austin channel.
The problem was how they integrate it because they required you to use your real name. I like the platform itself.
Yeah.
The way they did it. But again, it's the way they integrated it was where the downfall was. Because listen here, I've seen the heinous things that you guys comment on a YouTube channel. All right? But
although we appreciate all the good comments.
Yeah, Charlie. All 6 of them.
Sorry, I'm going to get on real Twitter. This video was interesting and exciting, but nothing will replace my love for Elon and Twitter. All the assholes love me.
Follow, subscribe. Let us know what social media platform you're jumping ship to. And we'll catch you in the next elongated muskrat. Did you pay for the $8 blue check mark?
I've never had Twitter Blue.
I did, in fact, blue myself, and I'm left with somewhat of a sticky mess on my hands.
Aaron cut this about 10 minutes ago.